How do some parents make getting outside with their kids look completely effortless and the rest of us struggle to just get out the door? How do some have these perfectly curated social media feeds with nature crafts and nature activities when the rest of us, when we get outside, it's quite a bit more chaotic than that? And then how do some of them create these STEM learning experiences where their kids are also having a lot of fun learning outside? And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to address these questions, but first I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jenny, founder of Nature Matters Academy. I am a biologist, an educator, and a mom of 2 boys. And I have been teaching science at the college level for almost 15 years now. And during that time, I have taught family nature workshops. I have helped with kids' science camps. I've also taught homeschool kids about nature. And as a researcher, I study the human-nature connection and specifically how to connect our kids to nature so that they feel part of it and they'll want to care for it. So this method for connecting our kids to nature is found in Nature Matters Academy. So what's great about the Academy is it's an all-inclusive program. It includes STEM-based nature lessons, it includes nature crafts, it includes nature challenges. We also talk about scheduling time for outdoors and what to pack so that getting outside is easy and comfortable to do with our kids. So let's get back to the questions I talked about in the beginning. Why is it so hard for some of us just to get out the door? And in the end, it all comes down to having a schedule and a plan. If you are really serious about getting your kids outside, then you have to implement these 2 things. You have to have a daily schedule and you have to plan out at least one activity once a week. The second question was, why do some of us have these, really chaotic nature experiences while online we're seeing all these pictures of these perfectly curated nature crafts and nature experiences? The answer to that is that those are not real. I think as parents, intuitively, we know this, but a lot of times we feel the need to live up to these unrealistic expectations that are online. The fact is, all those nature crafts were made by mom, a beautiful picture was taken, and then it's posted online. It's not meant to be deceitful. It's meant to give parents an idea and to show you something pretty, but it's important to know that that is not the result that you're gonna get. It's not even close, right? And I call it ugly nature crafts, and we make a lot of ugly nature crafts in our house. And the reason they're ugly is because I let my child do most of it. And it's really important, right? Because they develop fine motor skills, they develop gross motor skills, they are developing the confidence that they can do things outside and make things with their hands, and all that's really important. So just know that if you want these really nice pictures, that's great. Make the craft along with your child and you can have a nice, pretty picture. But it's really important to let your child take ownership of it and do as much of the activity or the craft as they can on their own while you still being there to guide and support them. And then the third question is about STEM learning and how do some parents get their kids outside and learning about nature and the science behind nature. And the reality is that most people don't have experience in STEM fields, and so they're probably not able to do this very easily. And that's okay, that's very normal. If we talk about what people know about nature, there are many people, unfortunately, who can't name a lot of the plants in their own backyard, and that is normal, and that's okay because we can change that, right? We can easily learn about the things outside, and I think that's important. We want to be the exception. We don't want to be the majority. We don't want to be the people who have no idea what the trees are in our local environment. We want our kids to be the exception. We want them to know what's outside. We want them to know what the birds' names are, and you can do that on your own, obviously, through various websites online, but through Nature Matters Academy, I can really help you out with that because I basically give you all the background information and all the science that you need. All you need to do is take that lesson, get outside with your kids, and start to learn. I developed Nature Matters Academy because so many parents were asking me, what do I do once I go outside? I don't know the science, so how can I engage them in nature? Or how do I even get out the door? And Nature Matters Academy is a path to help you meet those goals, and it's a very amendable and flexible path because I give you multiple things to do each week, and then you choose what best fits your family culture, your kids' interests, maybe your schedule for the week. So I give you a list of different activities and things that you can do, and you pick and choose based on what would fit your family and your lifestyle. We all want happier, healthier, and smarter kids. We all want to spend more quality time with our family. We want to give our kids these amazing educational opportunities that will help them grow as an individual. And research shows us that nature is a great method for giving our kids good educational experiences, increasing quality family time, and making them happier, healthier, and smarter. However, we're not doing it. And so let's think a little bit of reasons as to why it's hard for us to get outside with our kids. It might be schedules with work, and by the time we get home we're exhausted, and how we decompress is with TV. It may be the fact that we just don't know what to do with them outside, so we're not exactly sure even where to start. It could be that we want to teach them science, but we don't know the science, and so it doesn't actually happen. So there are a number of reasons that we're not actually getting outside with our kids, and it's important for us to address those so that we can change them. Old habits die hard, and they keep us from getting the results that we want to see in our lives. And they keep us stuck, and so many times this happens at an unconscious level. And then we start thinking negative thoughts. I'm a bad parent. I'm not giving my kids what they need to grow. But the reality is that we can change this. We can change our habits. This doesn't have to become our truth. And all it takes is a little bit more purpose and intention on our side. And here's the great thing. If you're feeling guilty about not getting your kids outside, then you're in a great spot, because that means that you know what needs to be done and you have the motivation to do it. So let's talk about what your future could look like if you decide not to start getting your kids outside and engage with nature. So your child could be the 1 in 3 that's overweight. They could be the 1 in 4 that thinks that playing video games is a form of exercise. They could be part of the 62% who is insufficient in vitamin D. They could be part of the growing trend of depression and anxiety among children. And they will be part of the kids who spend hours and hours each day on screens and only 7 minutes outside playing. Or by choosing purposefully to start getting them outside today and being intentional about what they learn outside, they could be part of the growing environmental steward movement that we have, where they know they're part of the ecosystem and they know the part that they play and how to protect the ecosystem. They spend more quality time. They prefer to be with your family instead of watching TV. And these are the kids that are going to be overall happier, healthier, and smarter. So here's what you need to do. You need to get your kids outside and learning about nature today. And you can do that in multiple different ways. You can look up the scientific research and see what kinds of methods you need to do and how you need to implement them. You could look up a lot of different curricula online, maybe through the National Park Service or NOAA or all these different organizations, and create your own curriculum. You could spend hours on Pinterest looking through different activities and finding things that are appropriate for your kids and that would be fun. Or you can have someone do it all for you, and that's where Nature Matters Academy comes in. You have the STEM nature lesson, you have nature crafts, you have nature challenges. I tell you about the research and what it means to get your kids outside and why it's so incredibly important. And there's lots of other features in the program. So you can do it on your own, and that's great. And that's probably what some of you are already doing right now. Or you can get a little help and kind of speed up the process, and that's what you get in Nature Matters Academy. So let's talk about who's not a good fit for this program, or at least not a good fit right now. So if you see being outdoors as more of a recreational time for you to get out inside and play, then Nature Matters Academy may not be a good fit for you. It's important, and we incorporate a lot of play into the curriculum. However, we know that it's absolutely essential, and it's not considered leisure time to get outside. And then secondly, if you are kind of interested in connecting your kids to nature and kind of interested in getting outdoors more often, then this program isn't a good fit for you right now, because it takes work. And if you don't do the work, then you're not going to get the results, period. And so if you are ready to be intentional and purposeful with how you connect your kids to nature, then Nature Matters Academy is a perfect fit for your family. So if you want to see a change in your family lifestyle and really get your kids outside and learning about nature, then Nature Matters Academy is where you need to be. And enrollment starts on Wednesday, and then it closes on Monday, November 26th at midnight. And it's really, really important that you get enrolled soon. And that is because the sooner you enroll, the more discounts that you get and the more bonuses you get. So I want to reward you guys for coming in and being excited, and for those of you that are really serious about getting your kids outside and engage with nature. So let me ask you this. What's important in your life right now? What do you want to see accomplished in your kids and your family in the months ahead? How long have you wanted to engage your kids with nature and get them off the screens? And how many times have you pushed this goal to the back burner? Join me in Nature Matters Academy and enroll your family, because it will make a huge difference in the amount of quality time that you guys spend together and really what your kids know about nature and how they relate to nature.